Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Partner Spotlight, the Kynection crew. Today, I've got someone very exciting. His name is Tim Riley. He's the Director of Endeavour Solutions. He's from New Zealand. Hello to your fans out there, Tim.
Wow. Hello, fans. I didn't know I had any. I think I'm saying hello to yours, mate.
Oh, you've got a few. All coming through the socials right now. Oh my God, Tim Riley's up on stage. Got to tune in. So thanks for being
maybe my wife.
There, maybe your wife. Excellent. I'm going to throw a quick question at you. Let's just talk a bit about yourself, about Endeavour Solutions, and what drives you to be in the position you're at today, and why you love this ERP market so much.
Well, actually, for me personally, I started off as an accountant a long time ago, and counting the beans wasn't probably my thing, and I got into technology pretty quickly and was just a little bit dismayed about how many difficult and underperforming implementations of ERP I came across for clients out there. And so in the end, I very stupidly thought, that can't be that hard, we'll get involved and start doing that, and started our own company. And 30-something years on, we're getting pretty good at it now, but it's a tough industry, and it's a tough application to put into a business, and you can understand how there is a checkered history out there of the success of these things and a lot of challenges. So for me, it was striving really to make those clients' businesses better with the software application, and we've really lived by that. Our whole mantra is in the company and for all of the team has been to make our clients successful by applying technology, ERP in this case, to help them do that, and making the focus on them and their business and what we need to achieve, not what the software does so much. So that was the background, I guess, that drove me into the space. And then we've had, like a lot of the reseller businesses along the way here, we've had some mergers and joined a few together, and some people have come and gone. And across that, we've had some clients right the way through. I've got some clients here that have been with us for 30 years as business partners, and that's pretty compelling. In fact, it used to drive my kids nuts because I'd always be talking about that client's one of ours, that client's one of ours, as we drove around. So
that's some serious customer retention.
Yeah.
30 years. That is a relationship, mate. That is huge. Wow. And the products and the offerings you offer, MIB, Acumatica, along with Microsoft. Talk about those two, and why did you go with those packages?
Yeah, from where we are today. From where we are today, we had some things that we wanted to make sure that our products that we back could provide our clients. And you talk about longevity of client relationships. One of the key things for us is that when we can implement an ERP product, which is the transactional backbone of a lot of the businesses we work with, we want it to stick and support that client for a long time, and that they don't have to be thinking about the reach limitations of it, or they've outgrown it, or is it going to be here next year. So we fundamental for us was that we select and work with global products. And so Acumatica is a global company, and Microsoft, as everyone knows, Microsoft is, of course. So we get a lot of continuity, a lot of reduced risk for the client and for ourselves, and that we know the products are going to continue to develop and prosper and expand in their capability and be there for as long as those clients want. So like the longevity in some of the client relationships, we've had some people in the same product suites, and gone across a journey with the software vendors for over a decade or more in some cases, and therefore that's been really good for their businesses. So we selected those products today because they're leading cloud products with big vendors, with big wide coverage inside the business from an ERP perspective. And we know that in 10 years, those clients can still be using those applications and still benefiting from new things that are coming with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. That safe haven, or you with an ERP package that will, it will stand the test of time. It will keep going. It will just keep evolving. It will keep adding more features. The product releases that I see that's coming up in spring.
Yeah, nobody wants to.
All that. It's amazing. So it's great. Yeah.
Nobody wants to have to implement this stuff unnecessarily. It's hard. It is challenging to put it in. So you want to do it and get it right, and benefit from it for a long period of time.
Yeah, excellent. All right, let's go with some of these questions. Endeavour Solutions, what is your expertise unique, and how can it benefit the Kynection customers that are listening, future Kynection prospects, Endeavour Solution prospects, and Endeavour customers as well? Everyone has a nice little squeeze, but what is your expertise? Experience is a huge one, but do you have anything else do you offer? Maybe around change management, that's always a dicey thing, how you play around that, but share your thoughts.
Yeah, I think I've listened to a lot of people in our position talk, and they talk about their expertise and the experience they've got, and that is absolutely important. And like those other people, we have deep experience in our team. But we were a little unique. It's about how we apply it to the business. So we take a really outcomes-focused drive. So a lot of our conversations with the business when they come to us are about what they're trying to achieve with the software and for the business. And so we really try to get in between the technology and not make it a focus, and make sure that the client understands why they're going to implement an ERP product and what they want to get from it. And we surface that and bring it out into the conversation at the outset, bring it into the documentation all the way through, and bring it into the delivery, and are coming back to it about, did we achieve those things the company wanted? And those things aren't about how the software operates, so they're the benefit to the company. Is it reduced inventory control, faster orders, lower credit returns, whatever it might be? What's keeping them awake at night? How are we going to make their business better? So we do look at it a little bit differently to a lot of the companies that are talking about their products a lot. And I know you're a product person, but for us, it's about what's this going to do for a client, and why is their business going to be better from it? And a little bit of it for us as well is we have to figure out and make sure the client's capable of implementing and using the technology that we help them with. So we're looking for partnerships and companies that want and understand how the software can make their business better, and are capable of working with us to deliver that. So we're an outcomes-driven business, and we understand the outcomes, and we understand the business processes, and we're deeply experienced in delivering that stuff for the markets that we work in. So one of the things that's very unique for us is that we are very narrowly focused, which most people would go, you shouldn't say that, but we're the opposite. We do mid-market, medium to large company ERP, and we do it for a set of industries: manufacturers, wholesale distributors, transport logistic companies, civil construction support, horticulture and agriculture. And that's what we do. And we become very good at it, and we become very knowledgeable about what those clients' issues are and how they process and how their businesses work. And so I think that has been a big part of our longer term success.
You've definitely made a reputation for yourselves, and the integrity that Endeavour Solutions has, particularly in the New Zealand market. You're one of the big ones there. So no, tremendous respect of what you've done so far. Yeah.
Thanks.
What is a challenge that, you mentioned that, that sometimes they can't sleep at night. What's a specific challenge or specific pain point that they ask you to how do you resolve? Is there one in mind that you constantly get time and time again?
Yeah, constant challenge we come up against is the inefficiency of multiple sources of data in their business and replication of the same information. And then where that actually surfaces in a lot of companies is the further up the chain you get in the organization, the less reliable the reporting and information is that they receive. And so you get into a lot of situations where people are needing insights into the business, and it's being collated from different sources, and it's being massaged on the way through, and then it goes up another level. And by the time it gets to a board, there's a lot of skepticism, if not cynicism, about the quality of the information. And so a lot of the time we're working with companies to bring things together into one place and be able to validate that we've got data once and we deal with it efficiently, and that we have reliability in what we report and analyze and how we use the data, and we can show that it's correct, and we can prove it and use it. A lot of software companies are talking about all of the next things that you might do in terms of data and information and insights. You've got to get it right underneath. If you haven't got the building blocks for that, and you're not operating efficiently, then all you're doing is undermining yourself. We find the further up. So we're really big on getting the building block right, and then providing analytics and reporting that you can rely on and that people can rely on and validate all the way through. That's a common issue out there for the size companies we deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. I see it time and time again in different industries. For example, they're applying for a massive tender. Can they look in their own systems and see, do I have the manforce to do that tender? Do I have the material? Do I have the equipment to do it? And if you don't have that data ready to go when you're applying for that tender or applying for that quoted work, it's going to become, and if you can't, then that's lost work because you just haven't got your stuff in order. Same as manufacturing. You've got a massive order that comes in from a client. You got to do a batch. How much you've got? What's your inventory like? Have you got enough in that batch? Do you need to do a PO? How much for the PO you need to order? You just your mass management of your inventory. So there's just so many examples in industries where the real-time visibility of data is important. It's so important.
And reliable data that you can prove. The worst case example there for you is that you make a commitment to your customer on their order about the delivery, and then but the facts that you're using to base that on aren't correct, and you can't deliver it. That's some of the worst outcomes companies get in distribution spaces when they can't actually deliver what they've said they will.
And how does that make you look? Horrible.
Yeah.
So you don't want to work with those people again. So massive impact. I'm in Australia. You're in New Zealand. How can you see the partnership enhancing the overall customer experience? We have multiple customers in New Zealand. We don't have time a lot, and unfortunately, to go to New Zealand every quarter as we wanted to. That's why we've got fantastic people like you to look after clients, look after prospects. What other ways do you see the partnership enhancing?
Well, for us, we work on the ground with our clients. We bucked the trend in some ways with a lot of software global vendors trying to do everything remotely. Our philosophy is the opposite. To do a job for our clients and help them bring systems together and implement them, and we need to be in their business and understand how they work and understand the people. And good people do good business with good people, in my view, and that's what we're about. So from a Kynection point of view, we're going to be in there helping figure out how to apply the functionality, the rich functionality that Kynection applies to solve their problems and make their business better for their specific situations. So I think that's huge, that our role is to enable that technology and make sure that they really get bang for bucks and ROI out of it, and help them get that up and going quickly and get the benefits, and apply our experience to figure out where else Kynection can help them and the ERP products can help them join together. And in another way, that's good for you because it leaves you guys focusing on product development, on continual build, on keeping the platform. It's more resources, and it's a different role, and it's a different world on the ground with the client than in the building, doing the development and doing the build. So really good combination when we work well together. And we certainly have, for a long period of time, 35 years, found that bridging that gap between the software vendor and the on-the-ground operation, the people in the business and how that business operates, has been really effective.
Oh, I can't agree more. Face-to-face, I wish I could do a demo that I do. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, all the time. But the rapport building when you're face-to-face, the CSM value that you get when you're going on site and taking them out and understanding the business, the scoping side of really getting at all the weeds and all the workflows and really understanding how the operation works is just tremendous value. So we do thank you a lot for that. Any innovative solutions or strategies that Endeavour Solutions brings to the table through our collaboration? It'd be obviously AI. This is the stuff that we can do with CRMs. You've got a tremendous knowledge in Acumatica platform as well as the Microsoft platform. Much better knowledge than us because we really focus on the operation side. Share some tactics without giving too many away to the competitors.
So where we've been doing quite a lot of work, and we're really interested in applying this to the Kynection world as well for our clients, is in using some of the platform tools, and Microsoft in particular, the Power Platform from Microsoft, to automate and digitize more processes around the edges. So we've been able to work, for an example, with transactions that are going into Acumatica and use the Microsoft platform tools to manipulate the data and transform it and take triggers of events, transform data, perform tasks on it, and even put it back where it came from in a different shape, a job that people would have previously been doing manual work in that. And so it allows us to do a lot of workflow between products. And what we're excited about with Kynection is that we're taking our solutions from back office right into operations and into the field for the business, and we're going to allow them to bring much more of their business processes into a digital platform, a mobile platform, a cost-effective platform to reach out into the operation people of their business, and then we can use the workflow and automation tools and forms design tools and app tools that we use from in the Microsoft world mainly to then go and almost think about mopping up additional processes and making sure that we automate and collect more and more of the information that's flowing and get it in one place. So development in those products over the last few years has been quite phenomenal in terms of how it allows us to cost effectively and quickly deliver digital solutions for what were manual tasks. So I think that we've got a real drive to extend the reach, and that's one of the reasons we went into Kynection, is that it extends our capability to help the business do more, bring more data together, get better insights, get better information in real time, and support people in the business that don't need to and certainly don't want the complexity of running an ERP. So they don't need to be in there, and we can still enable the business to have access to all that information, real time, to collaborate together, to take all the acrimony between teams away because you're collaborating on information that you're sharing across the organisation, and to surface insights and surface problems before they happen and react more quickly, make better decisions. So it's a pretty compelling position. We really want to, as a company, enable that further inside the clients' businesses.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what are the biggest things? Like, do you play around with Power BI as much? Like, do you?
Yeah, we do too
as well. Yeah.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we have Power BI and another BI platform or another analytics tool called Qlik. So we work with both those platforms depending on our clients' requirements and what the outcomes are. Absolutely. So again, we've got all of the building blocks and all the digital transformation of process and data into the collective systems. Then we can apply the analytics across the lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And quick example of what are the data that most customers want out of a Power BI dashboard? Is it project costings? Is it P&Ls? Is it timesheets? Is it health and safety data? What have you seen consistency across, which, for example, the construction or logistics industry of what they need?
So we work within those industry groups that I talked to earlier, and the commonality is a little bit more specific to the industry. So also distribution companies, we're analysing inventory movements, stock patterns, what's being bought, what's not being bought, as a way to look at data that people traditionally don't. So what's not happening, and analytics tools, Power BI included, and Qlik can help us unlock things that you're not thinking about because you're not seeing it, but it has happened or it might be happening somewhere else. Stock sales are a classic example of that. Inventory optimization is common in those spaces. In manufacturing, we're looking at capacity often and workload and surfacing that with the analytics. It's pretty, and in projects, we're often looking at state, work in progress, how far through are we, those questions. So it's answering questions that people are historically having to scramble around, pull spreadsheet after spreadsheet together, trying to find out where we're at, and by the time you have often things have moved. So they're very specific requirements, and that's what's quite exciting about dealing with different business types, because you've got different problems to solve for them.
Love it. That's perfect. A perfect answer, mate. Yeah. People are just left in the dark. Again, data driven. Shoot that right. You're going places. Long-term value in our partnership. How do we keep them satisfied, collaborative together? Do you have any suggestions?
Together can build a better bridge for the client, the user of the software, to bring back their feedback and their requirements and collect that and pass that through into product development, life plans and roadmaps together. I think that's quite valuable, that it's a conduit to decrease the complexity of the client giving their feedback through to the software vendor, Kynection in this case, about what's working and what they'd like to see happen.
Yep.
So influencing that future and having transparency about what's happening in the product is certainly something that we work with our other applications, with our client base. But I think ultimately we're bringing this together and working together from an Endeavour perspective for our clients to make them more successful by applying these tools well. So we can be a unified voice from our end with yourselves to make sure that we're driving outcomes for those clients and resolve issues and understand why the issues happen, because that happens with software, and deliver it, and then show other people how it's helped those businesses be successful and enjoy it along the way. Yeah, it's going to be a great partnership. And being here in New Zealand representing Kynection, that's pretty exciting for us. We're on the ground here, looking forward to helping a lot of clients.
I will make a trip there sometime soon. I do need to see you guys in person. I do want to travel to New Zealand. So I definitely it's on my list and tasks to go for sure. And I love how you brought that unified. We've got a term within in-house in Kynection, which is unified for greatness, and it's something that we try to strive for, not only for internal but for our customers and for partners. I want greatness achieved through us. I want partners to have mutual success with us, and that's what I'm here for. So perfect. Well, that concludes, Tim, for today's podcast. It was lovely chatting with you as always.
Great to be here.
I always learn something new from you, which is quite around the Power BI stuff. It's lovely listening to that stuff. I look forward to seeing you in person soon. I'm looking forward to growing your business, our business, and achieving that greatness for our mutual customers across industries that we all work in. I'll make sure that our people in New Zealand can actually make noise, so we can actually get you involved as much as possible. But thank you again for your time today, mate.
Thank you. Looking forward to that success for our clients, mate. Well done.